complaining that Disney doesn't make original stories if you don't show up to movie theaters and support them in the first place. Who said that? Oh my gosh. I thought I was the only one in my car. But anyways, there's a new original story. Look at that. From Disney Pixar called Elio. You should go ahead and support it. It comes out this Friday. So yeah, you should go to movie theaters. Thank you.
Well, that was embarrassing. Hey guys, I finished watching Pixar's recent film, Elio. And I'm gonna be honest, it was pretty average. It was okay. I enjoyed the film. Pretty generic, but it was fine for what it was. Now, this video isn't going to be focusing on the entirety of Elio itself, but the problem with Pixar. Again, last June I made a video talking about Pixar and its problems, and I think now, especially with how terrible this film did at the box office and how it's doing, I think now is a good time to talk about it again. I wasn't expecting to do another one, but when it comes to what's going on, yeah, I think I have to, especially with the controversies after controversies, and just where the problem comes from, and what the future holds for Pixar itself. So let's just get into the topic. Elio is a film that got delayed multiple times. And when I mean multiple, I mean like it was supposed to come out in spring of last year, and it got delayed many times after that. Now, where did the problem come from for Elio to be a failure for the studio and people not to support the film? Was it because it was a bad movie? No. Was it because Disney barely even advertised the film itself? Technically, yes. But there were a lot more reasons as to why Elio failed at the box office. And one of those reasons was a reason that I brought up in my last Pixar video, and that reason being Disney+. Ever since the pandemic, Disney has been putting out Pixar movies on their streaming service, such as Soul, Luca, and Turning Red. Films that deserve a theatrical release, but sadly due to the pandemic, weren't able to. It wasn't until Lightyear came along, and finally, a Pixar movie went to theaters. But that movie bombed, and there were a lot of factors, and that was because people got used to Pixar movies being on Disney+. It's not only become a problem for Pixar, but also a problem for Disney. 2023 was supposed to be a huge year for the company, but in the end, it almost became a disaster, with all 13 films released from them flopping again and again, with them losing close to $1 billion. But we ain't talking about Disney, we're talking about Pixar here. That's a story for another day. I bring this up because people have gotten used to the convenience of streaming services such as Disney+, but it's worse for Pixar, and it definitely affects Disney by a lot, because why would people want to go to the theater to go and see a Disney movie if they already know that as long as they wait like weeks or months, the movie will be on Disney+, and they can just watch it there at their convenience, you know? So yeah, this affects Disney a lot, but it definitely has a worse effect on Pixar because, like I said, their movies have been on Disney Plus ever since the pandemic, and yeah, you get the idea. Now, what is the other reason? Well, that reason is the reason why I actually wanted to make this video, and it's been talked about a lot, but not for good reasons, and that is because of the recent art style for Pixar's movies. Now, let me make something very clear here. This art style is not known as bean mouth. It's known as cow art. It's a style that is used in 2D animation. It's mostly what you see throughout like Cartoon Network shows, Nickelodeon, Disney Channel. Yeah, just specifically for 2D. Now, you might have remembered this kind of image that was going around back then. Such a dumb photo. It's kind of unhinged, honestly, and I hate it because it's not even true or accurate as to how the shows look the same, because they're clearly not. Now, like I said, this style works best with 2D, but in 3D, it mostly just depends on how well the characters are designed and if they even fit in with that style. And for Pixar, I don't even mind it, but I can understand why people have gotten quite tired of this style in general. If you really compare the character designs of Luca, Turning Red, and Elio together, they look like if they came from the same film, which doesn't really make them unique or stand out at all. I think what annoys me the most is how Pixar just doesn't evolve, like how everybody is doing the Spider-Verse animation, and the fact that they are still stuck with this is just like, why? I simply just don't understand. Back then, Pixar used to be unique and different because all of the movies were like that, especially with their style and the character designs. And that's what made the movies so unique back then. But now it feels like it's the same. So, I made this video because of Elio, and I know I said I wasn't going to talk about the film, but I am going to be talking about its recent controversy. And what I mean by that is the original version of the film. So back in summer of 2023, Pixar did a test screening with audiences for the original draft of Elio. And once they were done, they asked the audience as to who would watch in theaters. Not a single hand rose up, like at all. That made Disney and Pixar lose faith in Elio. And a lot of things were just changed and nerfed when it came to the plot and story of the film. The film had a director that was gay, and because of that, Elio was a queer kind of character. He was into fashion. He had like a male crush or whatever. Yeah. That was basically taken out of the final film, obviously. I'm not too sure as to how much really changed or anything like that. But I don't know, man. I still enjoyed the final film, but I'm not too sure as to how different or, the same the original draft really is. Because, again, this draft has never really been publicly talked about. That's all we really know about it. So, yeah. Alright, now since we are done with that, let's talk about Pixar's future, because a lot of things were announced. So, Pixar's next film is going to be a movie called Hoppers. A film where a girl gets her brain transferred into a robotic beaver. It's like a environment versus technology type of story. Now, we did get a teaser trailer, and personally, I think it looks pretty nice. It's not there to the Spider-Verse style, but I personally do like this We Bare Bears type of style. I really like it a lot. It reminds me a bit of like Studio Ghibli. It's really, really nice. After Hoppers is Toy Story 5, a movie that I mentioned in my last video. And in my last video, we didn't know anything about the plot for the film. But back in late or early August, if I'm correct, at D23, we got the concept art and the idea for the film. And I wasn't really a fan. I mean, bro, look at this poster, dude. It looks like shit. Okay, but jokes aside, though, I'm not the biggest fan of this plot whatsoever. And I probably would have found it more interesting if they wouldn't have put in this subplot of an army of 50 evil Buzz Lightyears in the film, which is just so forced, and honestly, it makes me think this movie's gonna be a mess. As of the time of me recording this, the trailer for this film has not come out yet, but a test screening was done a couple months back. But yeah, I have no interest in Toy Story 5. I'm just gonna pretend that the third movie was the final Toy Story. The next films are sequels, such as Incredibles 3. I find it crazy that we used to live in a world where people were so desperate for a second Incredibles film, but because it was so disappointing, it killed any hype for a third Incredibles. But to be fair, I do see potential in a third Incredibles film, like aging of Violet, Dash, and Jack, or having Bob and Helen deal with their powers when it comes to aging. As of right now, we don't really know much about Incredibles 3 besides the director, and that's about it. So I'll leave this one alone. And finally, we have Coco 2. The only thing that we know is that it's coming out in 2029, and that's about it, honestly. We still don't know anything about plot or the director, anything like that. So, yeah, we have a long way to go. But I do see potential in Coco 2, especially with Miguel's baby sister at the end of Coco. So, yeah, that's all I have to say. I don't really have anything else to say about Coco 2. So what is the future for Pixar? As of right now, I'm not very sure. But what I am sure of is that Pixar is willing to evolve their animation with a film called Gato. This movie will be coming out after Toy Story 5. and I think it looks great. I cannot wait for it. But besides from that, animated movies are in a very weird spot right now, where it's mostly just sequels and adaptations, and that's kind of it, really. All I can hope for is that Pixar can be able to make more original films and find some success, instead of just making countless sequels after sequels. But only time will tell. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all next time. Bye.